What's going on, guys? This is Aaron from Departures Capital, and we're here with Luis Merchant, CEO, and Jesse Kastner, CMO of Flora Growth Corp. How are you guys doing today?
Great, Aaron.
Yes, I'm excited to have you on. So Flora Growth is a leading all-outdoor cultivator and manufacturer of MJ products and brands. Can you tell us more about the company and what you do?
Of course, Aaron. Jesse, I hope you don't mind I take this one. But our company is founded on three growth pillars. That's our strategy. The first one is commercial and wholesale, which deals with all aspects of cultivating the MJ plant, as well as the manufacturing of derivatives and white label solutions for businesses worldwide. The second one is our house of brands, which comprises the portfolio of brands and products that are broadly distributed all over the world, specifically in the United States. And the third one is our life sciences division, which deals with the therapeutic effects of the MJ plant, as well as scientific-based research to support education and bring in the plant mainstream.
Yeah, you guys have some interesting approaches to the market. So, what has been going on lately in the MJ market, and why should investors pay attention right now? Because I know it has been a tough couple of years. I started covering it 2017, 2018, and I've seen the ups and downs.
Yeah, I'll give my 2 cents and then allow Jesse to complement. I would say that 2017, 2018 was too early and too regionalistic approach to what the MJ market was going to become. There was a massive influx of capital expecting a massive demand, but the demand wasn't there because the regulatory framework was not ready to support an international trade of this industry. Now the regulatory framework is catching up to those investments, and the companies that are investing in the international supply chain of the MJ plant and its associated products and industries are the ones that are going to take advantage of what will be a booming industry. I firmly believe this is the beginning of an L-shaped revenue trend curve for these companies.
Yeah, I agree. I think what you're also seeing is sort of the right sizing of the MJ industry more broadly, where there was hyperinflation in a lot of the new brands that came out across 2017, 18, and 19. And what you see now is that downward pressure on a lot of those cannabis stocks, and the new players who are coming to the table for sort of the next generation of what MJ will be in the future are also sort of being lumped in and experiencing that same downward pressure. But I think what we'll see at the end of this is that those in the industry who are looking forward and looking at MJ as the global industry that it truly is are the ones that are going to be able to outlast some of this this funky market that we're experiencing, and are going to come out on the other side, looking really, really competitive and really attractive to investors.
Yeah, I agree. It's a long game here, essentially. So Flora Growth has continued to expand its brand portfolio, including the recent addition of category-leading wellness brand Just CBD. Can you tell us more about this acquisition and what it means for the company?
Yes, Go ahead. Go ahead, Jesse.
Okay. So Just CBD is, absolutely the most exciting thing that we've done, certainly in this year, but, even in maybe the last, year. But Just CBD represents a really fantastic opportunity for Flora more broadly. So Just CBD offers consumable CBD products across 14,000 points of distribution. They have 300,000 consumers in their database that they're speaking to on a regular basis. And they're at the forefront of innovating on cannabinoids more broadly. And when you look at their footprint, not just domestically here in the US where we operate, but as well as their global footprint, they're offering us some really fantastic opportunities to meet consumers in nascent markets that have yet to be addressed meaningfully in the CBD market. Notably, I would say the UK, where we have an actual office there with boots on the ground, and our novel foods registrations in process there currently, as well as brick and mortar stores that are coming up in Germany and the Czech Republic and across other EU companies or countries.
Yeah, and I would complement Jesse's answer by saying that Just CBD is a perfect example of what we look for when we're acquiring a target, Aaron. It checks all the boxes. The founder, his name is Hussein Rakin. He's an incredible businessman who grew this company from the ground up from $0 in revenue to $28 million in revenue in just 3 short years and $7 million in EBITDA. So he's an incredibly astute businessman. And by the way, he did that with no debt. He raised no money to get this accomplished, which is incredible, right? Secondly, the brand is broadly distributed and the brand is also EBITDA positive. And when you check all those components, you can truly say that a transaction was accretive to the corporation. It certainly was for us. Just last month, the month of April, was our highest revenue month for Flora Growth since its inception, and a great part is the contribution that came in from just CBD.
So are there any other acquisitions you'd like to highlight?
Yeah, of course. I could not talk about acquisitions without highlighting Vessel brand. Vessel brand is a consumer technology brand that we acquired last year, the month of November. It's similar attributes in terms of human capital. Founders of the company, James Cho, as well as our own Jesse Kastner, who's in the broadcast today. They were the founding members of the company and have developed premium products for the MJ consumer that is looking for a sophisticated, better experience when they're utilizing the products. The team also comes with a tremendous know-how on how to bring brands to market, also understand the MJ industry very deeply, not only in the United States, but also more broadly, and are experts in the DTC channel, which is a skill set that we needed to complement our portfolio of brands more broadly at Flora Growth.
No, that sounds great. So, along with expanding your brand portfolio, Flora Growth is also focused on growing its global distribution. Which new markets has the company entered this year, and which ones are you targeting next?
I'll jump in. So this morning we announced that Vessel has officially launched in Canada. So we're very excited. One of the most mature markets, obviously, from an MJ perspective. We've had some distribution up there previously, but now we have, again, boots on the ground distribution directly to consumers through our .ca, as well as a listing on OCS. So we're very excited about that, of course. As I mentioned before, Just CBD opening an office in the UK and having distribution of their products through different UK retailers, as well as other EU countries. And of course, our roots in Colombia. We have plenty of penetration in the Colombian market across the entire portfolio of brands. Our clean skincare line, My Naturals, is distributed through Walmart.com and Coppel in Mexico. We have distribution in Hong Kong. The list goes on and on, Luis. I'm sure I missed a few. I think we're in over 11 countries now. So
yeah, well, perhaps I will complement this from the commercial and whole side of our business. We have an interest in a company called Hoshi International, which is a European cultivator out of Portugal and Malta. So we have interest in both of those countries that will help us move MJ through the European Union, through both of those countries.
Well, it sounds like you guys are up to a lot this year and quite the distribution network. That's very important. So, the company's cultivation and extraction facilities are located in Bucaramanga. I hope I said that right. Colombia.
You did.
What are the benefits of growing in Colombia?
Well, when we founded this company, the first question that we wanted to answer was whether the MJ industry was going to be a regional one or a global one. And obviously, we know today that it's going to be a global industry. And with that in mind, the place where you can grow the plant at the most cost-efficient rate with the right natural conditions versus artificial conditions that require a significant investment in infrastructure that elevate the production cost and actually don't allow the plants to grow in their own natural environment is the most optimal place to grow. And that is Colombia without a doubt. And Colombia has 5 thermal floors, but Bucaramanga in itself is known to be one of the most prolific areas in the world in terms of agriculture. You could literally throw any seeds on the ground and something's going to grow. It's so bountiful and beautiful. We are on top of a mountain, 3,000 feet above sea level. We experience the optimal conditions, daily sunlight, almost 365 days per year, consistent winds of 3 miles per hour, our soil is nutrient rich, and we have natural water deposits, and we're able to grow MJ at one of the lowest production costs in the world, at 6 cents per gram of dry flower. And that's why we are in that region of the world.
Those are incredible numbers, because I know I've covered this sector for a while, so that's quite interesting. Last year, Flora Growth formed the Flora Pharma division, which is being led by Dr. Annabelle Manolo Morgan. Can you tell us more about this?
Yeah, so we are really excited about our life sciences division. Dr. Annabelle is a member of our board and has spent the last over 5 years of her career researching the MJ plant and its applications in many different ailments, sicknesses, all sorts of things. And the way that we're looking at the life sciences division is that it is our opportunity to not only invest in the clinical research side of things, we're very excited about that, but also on the education front. So as far as some of the more traditional pathways to medicinal use of MJ go, we are engaged in a clinical trial in partnership with the University of Manchester in the UK, where we'll be exploring the application of cannabinoids in use with fibromyalgia patients. So that's going through NHS approval right now. And we hopefully will see patient trials begin this summer. So that's moving very quickly. We've had a lot of great feedback on our protocols thus far, and we're excited to continue to move it forward. Additionally, we have products that are in the approval system right now with Envima, which is Colombia's FDA, for use of these MJ products in dietary supplements and over-the-counter products. So we're also feeling very hopeful on that front. And again, more broadly, what we're attempting to do here is to bring MJ products to market in a way that is safe, with clinically backed data that consumers around the world can gain access to, and whether that's through a prescription from their doctor, or again, a dietary supplement or over-the-counter product. On the education side, we have a partnership with edX. They're a global online learning platform. And we are building curriculum that's all around the business of MJ. So from seed all the way up through how do you commercialize a product and get it on the shelf. So we'll be leveraging all of our in-house know-how and our team of experts across every part of the supply chain in order to build out curriculum for students around the world.
Yeah, I really love, the educational and research aspect of this sector. And I love that you guys are focusing on that. So Flora Growth has an impressive team of brand builders and disciplined operators with a strong track record of success. Can you tell us a little bit more about your key team members and what they bring to the table?
Well, why don't we start with Jesse, who's right here with us. Perhaps, Jesse, you can share a little bit with the audience.
Sure. So as Luis mentioned, I came over from the Vessel Acquisition. I have focused the majority of my career on marketing, brand building, go-to-market strategy, and marketing foundations. That's where I've spent a lot of my time, and my path certainly hasn't been a straight one. I've worked on the technology side with SaaS platforms and consumer technologies and apps. I've worked in sports. I've worked in apparel. Through my agency, I've touched nearly every industry out there. So lots of different experience across a lot of different industries. And I think that's been the biggest value add here, is that MJ is it really does, it has its tentacles in every industry, as long as we give it the room it needs to really grow and breathe. So
yeah, and I think, this is just a small sample of how talented and incredible our team is. Starting from our board of directors, which is focused on governance and independence. We have a very robust team there. Just to name a few, Tim Leslie, who's a former Amazon executive, which led the Amazon Prime efforts while he was at Amazon, former CEO of Leafly, and Mark Mastronardi, who's the chief stores officer at Macy's. Of course, I am chairman of the board, and my background is in retail and CPG, as you are well aware, Aaron. All the way down to agricultural skilled workers in Colombia. We make sure that we put our people first, and that's why we believe the foundation of our company is the human capital, and we believe that the long-term value that we're building is going to reap the benefits for investors for years to come.
No, that sounds wonderful. So what are the key catalysts investors should be looking out for from Flora Growth this year?
Yeah, look, I think this is the year, Aaron, where the proof is in the pudding. You gotta like put up some numbers on the board. We just announced our earnings from 2021. 2021 was the first full year of revenues. So we went from $0 to $9 million in 1 year, and we're gonna quadruple that this year. So the low end of our guidance is 35, and we're looking to get to 45 and perhaps even more in terms of revenues, and show a path to profitability over the short term. So that would be number one. I think number two is that we are a global company. That's our ethos. In fact, internally, we're looking at how do we expand into countries? How do we make sure that we prove the supply chain and put our products and put our categories in each one of these countries where barriers of entry are starting to lower? So the international expansion alongside with some meaningful numbers in terms of top line and bottom line are things that investors should look forward to.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an exciting year for you guys and this sector as a whole. I'm hoping for the best. So last but not least, how can investors get in touch with you?
Well, you can find us across all social media platforms at Flora Growth, but you can also reach out to us directly at investing@floragrowth.com. Happy to answer any questions that any investors may have.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Luis. Jesse, it was a pleasure. Thanks for all the information. You guys are up to a lot, so best of luck with everything this year.
Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron.
If you like these videos, kindly hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications. Drop us a comment down below. We'd love to hear from you. And finally, always remember, Departures Capital is for information, education, and entertainment purposes only. Don't buy or sell a stock because you heard it on here. Buy or sell a stock because you've done your research, you've done your thorough due diligence, and you're making your own personal investment decisions for yourself. This video is not financial advice. Furthermore, this video may or may not have been sponsored by the companies that we've profiled within this video, and we may or may not own shares of any of the profiled companies in this video. If you want to know the full disclosure details, check the description down below along with thoroughly reading our disclaimer. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.